Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? A gracious good morning to you, good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It's Thursday morning. It is January 22nd, and it is 3:07 in the a.m. Now, I've been here for a good minute or two, and I've just been uh, following up on some emails and some business, and I stumbled across two videos that have started my day. Let me put it like that. The first was a story about a young man. I'm going to pull it up here. By the name of, here we go. Dan Roy Henry Jr. If you follow me on Facebook, link is in the bio if you want to look it up. If you follow me on Facebook, the story about Dan Roy Henry Jr. goes as follows. Parents receive a phone call that there's been an accident and Dan Roy is in the hospital. Okay. Subsequent follow-up phone call is Dan Roy has been killed by the police. And that's pretty much all they were able to get until they met up with one of the individuals that was with their son at the time. Seems like they were hanging out and a fight breaks out where they were hanging out. All this is on film. Fight breaks out where they were hanging out. They were seen exiting the establishment. They got into their car. When they got into their car, police cars started to show up. One of the police officers directed them to move out of the fire lane. They proceeded to move. Nothing at a high rate of speed that's reported or recorded. Okay? So they start to move. And all of a sudden, some gung-ho mofo, yeah, I use that term, jumps on the hood of the car and begins firing into the car. Now, the person that's telling this story didn't say whether this Captain Gung-Ho didn't say whether he identified himself as a police officer, didn't say he gave any commands to halt. He jumped on the hood and began firing. Now, of course, the police, to get ahead of the narrative, to control the story, are claiming that my man weaponized his vehicle. That's the new thing. Now, before it used to be, there were two things that cops used to say before they killed a black person. First thing is, this is back in my day, I saw a glint of metal. And then the second thing is, I feared for my life. Now we have a new one for this new millennium. They weaponized their vehicle. They pointed their vehicle at me. Then it's followed by, I feared for my life. That part. Okay. Now this happens all day, every day in the African American community. All right? All day, every day. Now, I stumbled across this news And I subscribe to a lot of black news networks. So, again, mainstream media is controlling access to this news. And again, this happens all day, every day in the African American community. And we get stupid stuff like, why don't they just comply? They, first of all, comply. We can't fear for our lives. See, that's the level of hypocrisy. Sandra Bland didn't come home because she failed to use a turn signal. Let that sink in. Tamir Rice didn't come home because a cop wannabe, notice what I said, a cop wannabe decided he was going to police the neighborhood. That boy had a can of Arizona soda or iced tea and a bag of Skittles. A gentleman who was having a mental health crisis was unalived. Even after he told the police officer who detained him about himself. A man was shot in his car after he told the police that he had a permit for a concealed weapon and was instructed to remove the weapon. The list goes on. We may have a news blip and we may not, but the list goes on. Who are we hearing primarily about? Today's crisis and victim is Renee Good. Not to diminish her unaliving in any capacity. I thank the sister for her protest. I thank the sister for her concern. I thank the sister for her advocacy. But we need to look at how her life and her legacy rests and takes precedence over all the other black lives and black bodies that it is currently resting on. There's also the woman in Charlottesville. I think it's Charlottesville. During a protest for Black Lives Matter. Her life was highlighted. And the same is done for missing and exploited black children. Unless we're talking about it, and when I say we, I mean African Americans, it doesn't get discussed, and these children are rarely looked for. And I'm going to take you back. Some of you are old enough to remember this, and some of you will have to look this story up. But I'm going to take you back to the Atlanta child murders. Black children came up missing. Hey, we need to solve this case because it's getting media attention for a hot second. And now we automatically got somebody, and that's it, case solved. We need to really look at ourselves and stop lying about who we are. And I'm sick of this is not who we are. This is exactly who we are. We just stop lying about it. This is exactly who we are. Now we have this thing called social media, and everybody has a cell phone and a camera, and it's getting recorded. This is exactly who we are. It's time to do different. It's time to be best. And I meant that with all the sarcasm and disrespect intended. Be best.